Welcome to the Prepped and Polished podcast, the podcast that empowers you to take control of your education. Featuring weekly interviews with influencers in the world of education, as well as tutoring tips, lessons, and updates. And now, here's your host, Alexis Avila.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Tutoring Tips episode, Prepped and Polished podcast. It's Alexis Avila, Prepped and Polished. Make sure to check out our website, preppedandpolished.com, for more info. While you're there, you can sign up for our free tutoring and test prep tips newsletter. Comes out about once a month. You can join our Prepped and Polished community on Facebook, Twitter. Just search for Prepped and Polished, and you can submit a question during the show or after. Radio at preppedandpolished.com. We love hearing from you. Let's get right to it. This is 5 common email mistakes you definitely want to avoid. So email rules the modern age. And for many, it's all too easy to make mistakes when writing in a hurry. So keep an eye for these 5 common errors, and you'll have great emails every time. The first common email mistake is always say hello. A lot of people don't say hello. So emails should always have a greeting and a closing. So writing an email without a proper introduction, it looks rushed. It feels impersonal. Another of the 5 common email mistakes is a lot of people don't fix their typos. So I want you to fix your typos. So most email providers automatically spell check your writing, but you'll still need to go back and make the corrections. And here's a little bonus tip. Try to avoid abbreviations and conversational slang if you can. Another common of the 5 common email mistakes people make is they forget cap lock, or they use cap locks too much. So what I want you to do is forget cap locks. It can be tempting to use all capital letters to get your point across, but words or sentences in all caps, they can be misread as aggressive or even shouting. Another mistake people often make is their emails are too long. All right, you don't want to make that mistake. So I want you to keep your emails short. So unless you're writing an email specifically to catch up with a person, it's best to keep emails brief. People don't have time today. Many individuals receive upwards of 20 emails a day. I mean, if you run your own business, you're getting hundreds of emails a day. It just depends where you're at, but you're going to get a lot of emails. You don't have a lot of time. And you don't want your recipient to get bogged down by your lengthy prose. So keep the email short. Another mistake, in the 5th of my 5 common email mistakes you definitely want to avoid, is a lot of people don't use a subject line. So I want to avoid that mistake. Make sure you don't forget the subject line. So when the recipients see no subject, they immediately think it's spam. So personalize your subject line so it's very clear what you're writing about. So just to recap on the 5 common email mistakes and how to avoid them, I want to make sure that you always say hello, you fix your typos, forget about those cap locks, keep your email short, and don't forget the subject line. Okay? So this wraps up our show. This was number 95, 5 common email mistakes you definitely want to avoid. Keep your channel on and be on the lookout for our next episode, number 96. It's going to be with our essay advisor. She's coming back on for her 3rd episode. Her name's Ellie Swartz, the essay advisor, and we're going to talk about overcoming writer's block on college admissions essays. Remember to access all of our podcasts by going to preppedandpolished.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Prepped and Polished podcast. Now go out there and take control of your education.
You've been listening to the Prepped and Polished podcast. For more information, check out preppedandpolished.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Class dismissed.